Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tyra, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what people say about you when you leave the room. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm now going to show you crystals for each pile. So for pile number 1, we have rose quartz. And we have the Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck. For pile number 2, we have Howlite. And we have the Starseed Oracle deck. And for pile number 3, we have Purple Agate. And we have the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. But of course, if you're drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this rose quartz crystal and the Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what people say about you when you leave the room. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. So we're first going to go ahead and pull some of these oracle cards you chose, and then we're going to go ahead and pull some tarot cards after. So in your pile, using this deck, some of you may not understand why I'm using it today, but I kind of just felt called from Spirit to use this oracle deck. I know it's a self-care oracle deck, and you'll see in a moment, but sometimes I like to read these cards and the images kind of and just read off the energy. And maybe some of you are like that, like maybe like people have to kind of read between the lines with you, but we'll see in a moment. So spirit guides of my pile 1s. Spirit guides of my pile 1s, may I please look into what people say about them after they leave the room. We have sync with the moon. We have ground yourself. We have sing. We have make a vision board. What people say about my pile 1s after they leave the room. We have positive affirmations. What people say about my pile 1s. Okay, and then we have take a walk. At the back of the deck, we have burning bowl ritual. So before I started pile 1's reading, I actually heard a car outside kind of not drive by, but like rev a little bit. So when you leave the room, maybe people talk about the car you drive or something like that for some of you. That's just a specific message for some of you. But then I'm also hearing the song That Girl by Kid Cudi. We have the 4 of Pentacles. So I'm just using these tarot cards on the side as little oracle cards. We have the Nine of Wands. So with that girl, I kind of heard that song while looking at this card, Make a Vision Board. So maybe some people say about you after you leave the room that you have that girl energy. I don't know if you've seen, of course, this doesn't relate to gender. I don't know if you've seen, like, on TikTok or Instagram, there are certain women that, are very healthy. They take care of themselves. They have many goals, and then people call them that girl because it's like they have their life together. So some people may talk about you in that sense. Like, an example Spirit is giving me is, let's say, you were at a party all night long, and then the next morning you're like getting ready, you're leaving. I'm hearing maybe some of you are like washing your face and doing skincare if you slept over, and then, they're like, oh, where are you going? And then you're like, oh, I'm going to the gym. Uh, Something like that, because even with this take a walk card, and here we see healthy, I kind of get the vibe. Maybe people talk about you being very healthy, even if you're not the type of person that does that. Maybe people talk about you having like a very good looking body or looking very healthy in your whole physical appearance. Like, you could look very glowy in your skin. You could look like you take care of your skin. You could look like you drink a lot of water and take care of your body. And that's the kind of message I get here. So spirit guides are pile ones, what people say about them when they leave the room. Okay, we have the Five of Swords. And we have the Hermit. As well as the Five of Cups in reverse, which I'm not going to use. And at the back of the deck, Six of Cups in reverse. So what I'm getting from this vibe here is a sense that maybe some of you, like, people talk about you maybe being someone that likes, your alone time. You're not afraid to spend time alone and to really be by yourself, is the feeling I get with the Hermit. And yeah, I kind of get the vibe, like, maybe it's because some of you have been, with the Hermit card, healing certain things from the past in terms of, connections with people. With the Five of Swords, it seems like maybe people have hurt you in some way or have betrayed you in some way. And with the Nine of Wands, maybe you've gone through some challenges with the people closest to you. And it seems that maybe people say that, they would like to get to know you more. They would like to be in your circle. But then at the same time with the Hermit, maybe it seems like either you're a little bit shy or uh, you seem like you like spending time alone. But then when you're around people, I do feel like people think you're very fun to be around. Because I'm even looking at the Sing card and it's very playful. And the Hermit here kind of gives me the vibe like maybe people speak about that you've been on your healing journey, or you are a little bit discerning with people because you're careful of who you allow into your circle. But with the Four of Pentacles here, I definitely feel people want to keep you around when you leave the room. It's like, let's say, for example, I heard that car driving off. Like, let's say someone says, oh, why is pile one leaving? I wanted them to stay. I wanted to talk to them more. Like, I wanted to ask them for their number. Can I hang out with them next time? Like, next time you invite them over, like if it's a friendship type of thing, or um, let's say if you're in the mall or something where there's a lot of people walking around with the Four of Pentacles, it's almost like people want to hold on to you and keep you there, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of feeling this vibe more so in terms of like if you go to a place and you're interacting with people on a one level and you're having fun. I'm also feeling an energy where a lot of people are romantically attracted to you, and then it's like they want to keep you there. So yeah, I guess I'm feeling that energy. Maybe some of you are my pile of like beautiful butterflies that everyone wants to keep by their side. So yeah, I'm kind of also getting the vibe maybe people talk about you being a really fun person, even though you've gone through these challenges, because with the Nine of Wands energy, she has this warrior like quality, but she's very happy to be taking on these challenges. So maybe people talk about you having some kind of wisdom from challenges from the past and you being like a very wise old soul and very, very intuitive with sync with the moon, very connected to your heart space because here her hand is over her heart, here too, and you chose the rose quartz crystal. So here we also see a pink heart. So people talk about you having a very big heart, and I'm sure you can see why I chose this deck now because I can kind of read it intuitively, even though I'm not just taking the words from the cards. And with Take a Walk here, I'm kind of getting the vibe and ground yourself. Some of you, like people say that you are someone really grounded, calm, and safe to be around. Like they just feel very safe in your presence. But then you also have this very lunar energy with the Sync with the Moon card. And all these cards have like night sky hair. Maybe some of you have dark hair, or people really like your hair, or something like that. Or you could have this very lunar night sky type of vibe to you, or earthy, grounded type of vibe to you, or both. And the feeling I get here is like maybe people also talk about you being spiritual if you are, or you liking to be out in nature. Here would Take a Walk, or maybe some of you like to travel, or would like to travel the world. That's the vibe I get here. I kind of get the vibe like maybe people see you sometimes like working out or going on walks, and then they kind of talk about you if you're not there, like talking to them like strangers. And they kind of talk about you looking very healthy. I keep getting that vibe from you. I'm also noticing in this card here, there are so many little images. I just want to show you it. These cards. Okay, so here we have like an eye and it looks like makeup. So people may comment if you do makeup that your makeup looks really good. And here we see be an inspiration. So you could have some people be really inspired by you after you leave the room by certain things you have or certain things you've done in your life when it comes to your goals, your career, your own personal growth too. And I feel like people talk about you maybe loving yourself, and I guess here with the phone, maybe there's something about like people wanting to get your number or wanting to see you on social media after seeing you after you leave the room. And they talk about you having a vision for your life, being like this dreamer, visionary kind of energy, but also with Sync with the Moon, I kind of get the vibe here. People talk about you really being connected to your intuition and trusting your intuition, as well as when you speak, it's like you just know what to say without knowing. And I feel an energy here where you just feel very calming and genuine to people, and that's what they talk about. And with all the moon phases here, it's like I feel an acceptance, a self-acceptance here, a self-love from your energy, like people being inspired by the way you love yourself, the way you walk into the room and carry yourself and talk good about yourself. And I also feel solar plexus energy from you. So solar plexus energy is all about our self-worth. So like I said, people see the way you carry yourself and the way you talk about yourself. And it's not like in an egotistical way, of course. It's more so when you speak, they can tell that you know your worth. They can tell that you love yourself, even if you don't necessarily say, I'm on a self-love journey. That is what I feel there. And all this heart energy, like deep love, I feel like people often say, I want to be pile one's friend. Like they'd seem like such a good friend. Or I want to be pile one's lover kind of energy. And with Sing here, I definitely feel that playful vibe. So I don't know if some of you have been like at a house party or something like that, or, in the car with people and then, you're all singing together. Like that's a vibe I get. Or maybe that you have a beautiful voice. If you do sing or if you are creative in some way, people could comment on that and say, I'd really love to. I'm hearing support their work. Like if you, for example, make music, people could, ask, what is their Spotify? What is their Apple Music? Like, I'd love to listen to it. Or if you make art and you post it on social media, there's that vibe of like people wanting to see it. And I guess with people, I'm also seeing perfume bottle. So maybe people may comment that you smell good. And with the hermit here, with all these books in the background, I feel people may say that you are someone very intelligent. And it comes across that way in the way you speak. You know what I feel like people say? There's just a certain glow to you. This energy of you, like you radiating out to the world. A very happy energy you exude. A very welcoming and warm energy too. I think people often comment that they love your vibe when you leave the room. So let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards now. I also heard the song Not Your Bobby Girl. And Spirit showed it to me like nachos, not your Bobby Girl. So I don't know if some of you are funny or like people could comment that you're very quirky or cute, or that you look like a doll, and maybe, you've eaten with someone before and after that you left and they're like, you have good taste in food, they want to eat out with you again, or something to do with that. Or if you cook or bake, they could comment on that, like if people have ever been to your house and then they left, or if you ever brought food to someone's house. That's a specific message. They could love your food. And you could look like a doll. Or like, of course, this doesn't just relate to women, but yeah. Spirit guides of pile ones. May I please look into what people say about them after they leave the room? We have the 5 of Cups. And I was drawn to using this tarot deck, this vibrant tarot deck. And I feel like maybe that's something people comment on. Because the 5 of Cups is the first card coming out. It's a very sad card, but I chose a very vibrant tarot deck for you. And this oracle deck kind of gives me like a pastel color vibe. So some people could say that you have that type of vibrant energy, but maybe you've experienced some pain in the past and there's this kind of contradictory energy where, you've been through things, but you still somehow find a way to see the beauty in life and see the pain in a different perspective here with the Hangman. Maybe as a result of, going within and healing. You help people see things in a different perspective, because I feel like if people ever came up to you and spoke to you and asked you for advice, they'd very much be in their feelings. but maybe you'd say something so wise and so intuitive and something they really needed to know in that moment, and you help them see it in a different perspective. So, what people say about my pile ones after they leave the room. With the Fool card, you have this very optimistic approach to life. Even though maybe you've experienced some disappointments in life, it's like that feeling of dusting yourself up and trying again and, looking forward to the positivity. With the Fool card, I just feel like maybe people comment or talk about how you just don't really care about the past too much. You're looking forward to the future. And there is a lot of orange energy here, sacral chakra energy, an energy of embodying confidence, courage. Like, today is a bright new day and I'm looking forward to it. And, this was my past, but it doesn't determine my future. And the sacral chakra is all about pleasure and enjoying each moment. So people could talk about that, say that you have this very vibrant, happy-go-lucky energy, this optimistic, positive outlook on life. And I feel like people could also say that you could be like a loyal friend. I'm also getting the vibe of like people very much being attracted to you sensually. And you just having this carefree attitude that is kind of freeing. And like I said, with all these stars here, there's this certain glow to you that I feel. Okay, we have the High Priestess, another orange card. So that kind of confirms everything I've said. Maybe you are becoming more magnetic in your energy, more comfortable with your sensuality and with feeling confident in yourself. And with the High Priestess, it's like you read people like a book. So I feel like if people talk to you, you somehow, like I said, just say to them exactly what you know in that moment. And it's kind of flabbergasting is the word I hear. Because sometimes you know things that you wouldn't have known. Do you get what I mean? Also, with the Fool card, I feel like it's with new people and strangers. Like, for example, let's say you're talking to a stranger and you're like, oh my gosh, like I've been thinking, you would look really good in this type of clothes. For example, it doesn't have to be like this. This is just an example. And, that morning, maybe they were sitting online looking through certain clothes and they were going to buy some clothes, but they were not sure. That is just a silly example, but there's something about you knowing things without knowing towards strangers, towards new situations that you don't even realize you're being an intuitive person in that moment. You're just kind of speaking. I saw 444 and 555. So I feel like you have this very protective energy where you are very protective over your friends and you're like that safe space. But then also with 555, the Hierophant here, I feel like you change people's lives in a way you can't even fathom and maybe change their perspectives on some things. And I guess that's what people comment on after you leave the room. We have the Nine of Cups. So I feel like you are a lot of people's wish fulfillment, a lot of people's wish come true. And you may hear this and be like, what? But I'm feeling an energy here of like, let's say you have certain traits that everyone wants in a friend. I feel like with the Nine of Cups here and the Fool card right opposite the Fool card is giving me this vibe that a lot of people wish to be your friend. You're a lot of people's wish fulfillment, and you may listen to this and be like, what? But I feel like it's everything you embody. Like, you're that truthful, trustworthy friend. You're so magnetic. You have goals in life. your life in order. And I feel like a lot of people maybe want to say this to you, but they're just kind of shy to. So I feel like even maybe strangers could look at you and be like, I'd wish to have a friend like that just because of your vibe, or I'd wish to have a lover like that. And maybe it's certain qualities and traits you have too. But like I said, I feel like people are kind of shy to say that to your face. One more card, Spirit Guides, for anything people say about my pile number ones after they leave the room. We have the Strength card, Leo energy. You don't have to be a Leo, but you could be in that phase of embodying Leo energy. Like I said, coming into your confidence, coming into that self-worth energy. You know how we all have one zodiac sign, which is our sun sign, but then we have a whole birth chart full of signs. So when I read energy, I'm talking about the energy I'm feeling, not that you have to be that sign. So let's say, for example, everyone has a whole birth chart and a wheel, and that wheel contains 12 houses. And we all embody each different sign in different houses. So, for example, I have Leo in my 5th house. Okay. Someone else may have Leo in the 7th house. Someone else may have Leo in the 3rd house. And each house means different things. So, I'm seeing here, you could be in that phase of your life where you are embodying a Leo energy for this phase in your life and taking on that energy to help you maybe get the things you wish for. I really feel like maybe with the 8 of Swords at the back of the deck, maybe this wasn't you in the past. Maybe it's a result of your healing journey, the lessons you've learned, where you really got to find your own strength and power through that. I definitely feel solar plexus healing and finding your self-worth, finding your strength, finding your power. And that's what people could be talking about, when you leave the room, that you have this powerful, resilient energy and this energy of just standing out and taking up space, owning your power. So this is where I'm going to leave your reading, my pile my pile ones. Are some of you drawn to pile threes? Okay, anyways, I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pal number twos. If you chose this Howlite Crystal and the Starseed Oracle deck, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what people say about you after you leave the room. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm first going to go ahead and pick use the oracle deck you chose, and then I'm going to pull small little tarot cards on the side as oracle cards, and then I'm going to pull tarot cards after that. So, Spirit Guides of pile number 2, may I please look into what people say about them after they leave the room? We have star ancestors with hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. I'm hearing that song from Princess and the Frog when when Tiana goes to that older lady, and then she's like, dig a little deeper, da 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 da. It was like an elderly lady that sang that song, and then there were like all these animals like snakes and things like that dancing to that song. So I don't know, like maybe you have that vibe of being like that friend or that person that is like a wise old soul with the elderly lady there singing that song. Maybe you have a wise old soul. Maybe you have a lot of wisdom in your soul where you kind of have this very motivating energy towards others, and it's like that's what they talk about after you leave the room, that they just feel very much like you're almost like their cheerleader. You're that person that says, dig a little deeper, try again. It kind of reminds me of yesterday when I was playing Sims, and then I was like, I was taking my family to the gym, and then there was this person behind them, and I didn't know if the person behind them was like shouting at them or what. And then I saw the person behind them was like a stranger motivating them, and I guess I was like, what is that person doing? And then my boyfriend was like, they're motivated. So I don't know why it reminds me of that, but I get that vibe from you. Like, people talk about you to have this very motivating energy. Even if you don't say anything, maybe it's the vibe you give off, but we'll see in a moment. Um, and with the pyramid showing up here, you could have a lot of this mysterious vibe to you too. Because you know how the pyramids, everyone's like wondering about it, who built them? Like, they're trying to uncover mysteries, and it's like a whole big phenomenon. I don't know how to say that word. It's what I'm hearing. And there's this vibe of like you being like a mysterious person, and then people wanting to uncover you or find out more about you after you leave the room. Like, who is Pile 2? Like, I want to know who they are on a deeper level. And there's this vibe of you being such a wise old soul, and that's what they say. Like, you seem like you have this old soul or this wisdom to you. And it's like, how does my Pile number twos know these things? How do they just know? And I feel like some of you could have been ancestors to yourself a long, long, long time ago. And I'm hearing ancient soul. So that's not to say you, I'm saying your soul. And you have a lot of wisdom within your soul, a lot of psychic energy, powerful energy. So, spirit guides on my pile twos. Since we're getting such spiritual messages, maybe people talk about you being spiritual, uh, and like being intrigued by you. But then we also have 444 on the clock, so you could be very protected too. Like, when people speak about you after you leave the room, you could have this protection around you where if they try to say something mean about you or bad or uncalled for, something happens to them right away. Like, maybe they bite their tongue, or they just can't say it and then they start coughing. I don't know, like that type of vibe. So, spirit guides of pile 2, what people say about them. We have jump in with Andromedan energy, adventure, and say yes to change. What people say about my pile 2s after they leave the room. We have Earth with learning how to be human in the world but not of it. Yeah, I did feel a very ethereal vibe from you, like almost like you're not from Earth, you're not from here. Maybe for all of you, it's going to relate differently. Some of you may relate to, being a starseed since you chose this oracle deck. Some of you may relate to angelic energy because I'm getting that from the Howlite crystal. Maybe you are an earth angel. Some of you could relate to a more magical energy, like maybe being a fairy or a mermaid on Earth, and it's like, where are you from? Like, I don't know if you've ever seen some people on Instagram. You're giving me that vibe, like, you look at them and they don't look like they're from Earth. They look like a fairy. They look like I want to go to an enchanted forest with them and just have a tea party with them, like that type of vibe. Or you could be someone that is very different and unique, where it's like, who is that person? Like, I want to get to know them. There's this mystery surrounding you. And then we have the card, You Got the Love, with Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Okay, and then we have Star Family with You're part of a team of souls, call in support. And then we have the card, You're Not for Everyone, with Embrace Your Weirdness and Face Your True North. I love that for you. At the back of the deck, we have baby steps with action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. I love this little portal here and, the people walking up the steps. Well, the same person. So maybe people have seen you take action towards your dreams or towards the things you want, and it's like, with the You're Not For Everyone card, I feel like there may be a lot of mixed reactions to you doing this, to you stepping up towards where you want to be and taking the steps of action towards that and following your intuition. So for some of you, this could be related to your goals. It could be related to career. It could be related to relationships. Take it as it resonates, but you've been taking steps towards where you want to be, where your intuition is telling you to be, where your heart is telling you to be. And some may not always understand, whereas others do. And, you're not doing this for them. You're doing it for you. But I feel some people may be talking about your growth, maybe once seeing you at the bottom of the stairs and now you're right by the door about to enter this portal into a whole new world. And, there is another card in this oracle deck called Portal that is very similar to this card, but it's like at the portal, it's right at the door. So I feel like some of you are about to level up or about to go through some big door into a next phase in your life, and that's what people could be talking about recently, is the vibe I'm getting. So now let me pull the little tarot cards on the side. I feel like even with the shimmers here, some of you have like a very shimmery energy. It almost feels like you're throwing pixie dust at me with your energy. I love that. And I feel like people talk about you having this very fun, happy go lucky personality with jump in, adventure, say yes to change. After you leave the room, it may be that people talk about you having a very freeing, carefree energy, this optimistic approach to life, and this adventurous energy too. Like, I feel like maybe people talk about, you may be the best person to go on holiday trips with, or to go swimming with, to do fun things with, to go on roller coaster rides with. Like, I feel like you'd be that person I would call to do all those things. I don't know why. I just feel like people see you as very fun, and that's what they say after they see you, after you leave the room. Like, they just love your vibe. They love this warmth you have. You have like this very vivid, bright energy to you. And I think people often say you're very fun to be around. You have this youthful energy within you, like this old soul energy, but also this youthful energy of like playfulness and laughter and sunshine and rainbows and like that type of energy. So spirit guides on my pile twos. It's 11:11 right now. On my timer. So people could say you're very divine. Spirit guides of my pile twos, may I please look into what people say about them after they leave the room? We have the Page of Wands. Yeah, this playful, imaginative energy, but also a visionary energy you have. Seven of Swords. This is not you. This is... We have the High Priestess. So since you are so intuitive and so connected spiritually, like I said, you are not for everyone. You're not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone is going to understand you. And that is okay, because we're all different. We're all unique here on Earth. And we're not necessarily meant to be fitting in. So with you being so spiritual and so intuitive, some people may, with the Seven of Swords, kind of have this fear towards you, like, going back to that vision I saw of Tiana going to that elderly lady and her saying, you gotta dig a little deeper. I'm noticing this card wants to come out. So maybe people think you, like, get a little bit scared of you, think you're like a witch or something, or I guess, people are very ignorant sometimes when it comes to spirituality. And you know what? If they're gonna be like that, then let them be scared. Because I don't feel that vibe from you at all. And even if you were a witch, like, so what? I just feel a vibe from you that you're just very, very spiritually in tune and very spiritually powerful. And that may scare some people because they're very scared of the spiritual realms themselves. So, some people, they're just connected to our physical 3D world. They're very scared of the spiritual world, scared of ghosts, scared of things like that. So if I were you, maybe see it a little bit like they're just scared of the spiritual realms. They're not really scared of you, per se. Yeah. I feel like people also talk about you being a really hard worker, and when you really go after something, you have ambition to go after it, and you're going to swiftly go for it. Nothing's going to stop you or hold you back. And I feel an energy here where you also have a playful side to you. So it's not just that you are like all work and no play. You have that balance to you, but also this visionary mindset, and like no one's gonna tell you differently. And I love that about you. We have the Two of Cups. So some people may talk about you being very beautiful or attractive, a lot of people being attracted to you. At the back of the deck, we have the Lovers. So some people may say that you are wifey material, husband material, marriage material, whatever you relate to. And a lot of people with the Two of Cups actually do like you, like your vibe too, and kind of feel a deep connection with you, not just romantic, but in general. So I feel like maybe even some people say that they're very physically and sensually attracted to you, and that they felt a vibe with you, or they felt chemistry with you. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess even in non-romantic connections and friendships, like people often talk about how they can just like be with you and have really good conversations with you. Like I'm looking at them drink wine here at this restaurant kind of energy, and it seems like they're really connecting on a deep emotional and spiritual level. So when people talk about you and the way you love and the way you connect to people, it really feels like it's coming from the heart space. It really feels like it is coming from this place of like connecting heart to heart. I'm hearing that song, Two of Hearts, Two Hearts That Beat as One. So with Star Family here, Soul Family, I feel like a lot of people resonate with you on a spiritual or soul level and will say things like, that person there is my soulmate. Even if they just met you. I know this will sound like a little bit weird for you to hear, but um I'm even feeling like friendships, like, oh, that person's gonna be my best friend, but they just met you that day. But it's because of the way you love deeply. You open up your heart very freely to people, and you have this very compassionate, empathetic soul that people feel a very deep connection to you, and your heart is deep and magical and full of this cosmic love. And I just feel like when people really are interested in you, it's like they sometimes want to cling to you with the codependency here. And that may be something for you to set certain boundaries at. But I also feel like people feel you're fun to celebrate with, fun to go to certain events with or parties with, that they just have a lot of fun with you. But I also feel the people that are talking about you in this energy, they are also somewhat scared of your power, somewhat jealous of your power, because some people wish they could be able to connect spiritually, and then they kind of just see you being successful at the things you do, see you, going after the things you want, and making progress, having growth with the things you do. And it's kind of like some people, they will try to downplay our achievements or downplay our talents or gifts because they themselves wish they had it. So that's another aspect I see here. And I feel like people have talked about you with "You're not for everyone, embrace your weirdness, face your true north." People talk about you embracing your uniqueness. And there's some part of it where some people are like in this energy, whereas other people love this. Other people like you. So you'll have certain people that are a little bit intimidated by you, and they'll, I don't know, be in that weird energy. But then you'll also have people that really admire your qualities and traits. So I guess it's just the perspective of it, because not everyone is liked and we don't like everyone. So I guess just seeing it in a different perspective, because the people that do admire your ability to be unique in the world and stay true to yourself and be your true self in the world. And I feel this energy of like, you may be coming into your power. You may be coming into this energy of like, I don't give a F what they say about me. Like, I'm seeing that guy from, there's this other like movie. I'm trying to think of the movie. Let me just try Google it. Oh, it was a haunted house. I'm not sure if it was number one or two. I think it was this movie where the one guy was like, I don't give a F. Like, I'm not gonna swear on the channel, but like maybe people talk about you in that energy, and like this energy of like you just embracing being unique and you, and that is something people love about you too and really admire. I was getting my other tarot deck to use, and I used this tarot deck for pile one, and then I kind of just saw the lovers wanting to come out. So I guess a lot of people do talk about being attracted to you or loving your vibe, really liking you, even if it's not just in a romantic way, really taking a liking to you and wanting to be a part of your circle in some way. So I'm going to be using the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck for you. So spirit guides on my pile twos, may I please look into what people say about them after they leave the room? We have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like things are turning in your favor as a result of you embodying more of this energy, and as a result of you taking the steps towards where you want to be and trusting that visionary aspect, trusting your psychic visions. I'm hearing that song by Fleetwood Mac where she's like, I keep my visions to myself. So something about that. We have the Temperance card. So I feel like people talk about you having, like I said, some of you have like this earth angel energy, this very harmonic vibe, very loving vibe. And I feel like people talk about you being so patient, being such a loving person, and they just feel your vibe and they really like it. And yeah, like with the Wheel of Fortune, doors are starting to open with you here with this key shape, and things are starting to turn in your favor. Maybe even people talking about how unique you are and how big of a purpose you may have and how much you may change the world. It's kind of giving me the vibe of that quote that, like, if someone is different, they're not meant to fit in, they're meant to change the world in some way. We have the Six of Wands, so people talk about you reaching success, and it seems like it's not just in your career, it's in different aspects of life. Like you've grown spiritually, healed yourself, um I feel like some of you have gone through some things, and I feel like certain connections you've had were in these Seven of Swords energies, and like maybe people have been in that Seven of Swords energy towards you before for no reason. And I guess that's something that was challenging for you, but I'm hearing that song by Britney Spears that's like, love me, hate me, can't you see what I see? Something like that. So yeah, I guess people maybe talk about your success with healing that too, and uh, your own spiritual growth, your own growth in your soul, your growth in your career, your growth in your goals, and reaching those. So with the Ten of Pentacles here, I feel an energy of like maybe people talking about you having enough money to like support your whole family for some of you, or building enough material abundance or wealth in this lifetime to pass down to your family, like kind of like creating so much success that it goes down to your family line. Okay, we have the Two of Cups. So with this Two of Cups card, I feel like your love is healing because we see this healing symbol here, and how you are courageous enough to open up your heart to people with the lion here and the angel wings, and you have this pure type of love you give to others, even though you've experienced challenges in the past with the Nine of Wands here. And with the Nine of Swords, 9-9, you have released some things. You have healed some anxieties around opening up your heart to others. And you really had to kind of sit with your feelings here with the Four of Pentacles and heal and balance out some of those energies, if that makes sense, and kind of just sit with your feelings, sit with that uncomfortable feeling and heal yourself. So there's something about you being hurt, but not closing off your heart, not becoming bitter. And I guess people really admire that quality in you because that takes a lot of strength with the lion on the card to be able to do that. We have the Three of Cups, so I definitely feel a lot of people want to be your friend. A lot of people want to be around you with the Three of Cups. And then we have the Sun card. So people see you as a very happy person. And this is what they say after you leave the room. Like, oh my gosh, pile number two's like, they've been through some things, but somehow they're still such a kind, loving person. Like, how is that possible? And I guess people take inspiration from you, feel like this very peaceful and calming energy, serene energy from you, and see how you've been able to, go towards your dreams and your goals and have a lot of growth in your life. And it's like you always have a plan to get out of that. As well with the Sun, it's like maybe recently you've started coming out of that hermit mode, coming out of that healing mode, and started connecting with people more. Started doing things that bring you happiness and joy more. Of course, we can't always be happy and joyful, but it's like you've been making time for that too, because that's an important aspect of your life. And I feel like when people are around you, they may say that, you're really funny, that you're really you seem really happy lately. You seem happier lately. I feel like this is people that know you and they just love your positivity as well. We have the Queen of Wands. Before we end off the reading. So this is the last card I'm going to pull, and we see lions here too. So I feel like people talk about how you have reached some aspect of strength and power within yourself, where you've reached a point where you've worked on yourself enough with the Seven of Pentacles at the back of the deck to be able to put yourself back out in the world. And I feel like some of you are comfortable being seen in the world again, comfortable with opening up your heart again to new connections, and comfortable with being independent enough and knowing your worth so that even if people are in the Seven of Swords energy, it doesn't affect you. Because you've really come to the place of self-worth and confidence within you. finding your power and your strength. So this is what I feel here, and what people talk about you, and you reaching the state of independence within yourself. So I'm going to leave your reading here in my pile number 2s. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this purple agate crystal and the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what people say about you after you leave the room. Please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm first going to go ahead and use the Oracle deck you chose, and then I'm going to be pulling some tarot cards after that. So, spirit guides on my pile 3s, may I please look into what people say about my pile 3s after they leave the room? What people say about my pile 3s after they leave the room? We have creativity. We have joy. What people say about my pile 3s after they leave the room. We have alchemy. We have storms. We have giving and receiving. What people say about my pile 3s after they leave the room. And we have the card pleasure. At the back of the deck, we have speak up. So I feel like with all these hands in the back and these justice scales here, I feel a vibe from you where some of you are like that type of person that will stand up for others, that will, speak up for what is right. You may be that some of you, this is a specific message, some of you may, really believe in justice and what is fair and what is right and things like that. And, you may be an advocate for that, or you may speak about that. Or you may be that type of person where people say that you'd be that type of person that would stand up for another person if they were being hurt in some way that was unfair, or if they were being outcasted, or alone in that energy, I guess. And with the speak up card, I feel like people may talk about loving the way you speak, loving the way you are so outspoken. It's like you really speak out for yourself and others, but also people may be talking about how they love your voice. They love the things or the topics you speak about when you're around them. And I guess there is this energy of confidence when you speak, an energy of intelligence for some of you, or most of you, intelligence, but also wisdom with this in the background with all this Egypt energy and these, I'm not sure what these are called, but there's like drawings in the background. It reminds me of like ancient wisdom. So some of you, when you speak, you have either a lot of intelligence or a lot of wisdom, and you speak with the sense of confidence within yourself, or at least it comes across that way. So I feel with everything I see here, there is an energy here of you maybe going through some things with the storms card, but healing from it with the alchemy card. And I guess maybe people talk about your growth in your healing journey, because I'm looking here and all these plants growing off this person. Kind of looks like Mother Gaia's energy, but I'm not sure. So I guess people may speak about your growth in the aspect of you healing yourself, healing your heart, healing the things that really hurt you with the Storms card. And you may have been in a very chaotic environment, whether it be the upbringing you had, a previous job you had, previous relationships or connections in your life that were very chaotic and brought you down. And toxic is the word I'm hearing for some of you. But you've learned to alchemize this pain and grow from it. And I feel like that's what a lot of people talk about after you leave the room. Like, if you've opened up about that, there's the sense of not them talking about what you've been through, but more so saying, like, wow, my pile threes have an amazing resilience to them, this ability to heal themselves. Like, I can't even believe what they told me. They've been through so many things, but they've healed themselves. They've learned to find the wisdom and growth from those situations. And I just think that's super powerful. Like, that type of energy is what I feel here. And with the sun at the here, like rising, I feel like maybe people talk about you coming into this more optimistic state right now after coming out of this healing and being able to see the sunrise again. And that's like how your energy is right now. Like, the sun is rising again, spring is coming back, joy is coming back. We have all these cards about pleasure and joy. So I definitely feel that energy. So spirit guides of my pile threes, what people say about my pile threes after they leave the room. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So for some of you, you may not have had the family or the connections you needed. Ten of Cups in reverse next to the Storms card gives me this vibe of like, it doesn't have to be family, but connections in your life that were supposed to be the ones there, giving you that love and giving you that sense of community, weren't. And then we have the Star card. So I feel like maybe this is what people talk about, like you on your healing journey. The Star card right next to alchemy. So there's two cards about healing, which is very interesting. And I think that is what people talk about, that you have this super powerful resilience to you where you're able to heal from those things and still find the celebrations of life with the Four of Wands here, and find the pleasures of life, because the Four of Wands talks about celebratory energy as well as the pleasure card here. So very interesting. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So I feel like people talk about how you're just this very empathetic soul, how you have a really good heart, and like they can see your heart is in the right place, even strangers. I feel like people talk about you being a person that is really down to earth and having this big open heart and this depth to you when you leave the room. Like, you're just this really deep person with a lot of emotions, but it's like your sensitivity makes you beautiful. And I think people admire these qualities and traits within you after you leave the room, and that's what they talk about. But also, it's like we have the Three of Wands here, and it looks like the sun is rising here too. It's like you're able to see the future and move towards that. And I wouldn't say move on, because I don't want to sound like I'm being unempathetic. I don't know what word to use. I don't know if that's even a word, but I just want to say, like, maybe this is what people say, like, that you have healed yourself, that you have somehow moved forward and still been able to see, the happiness of life, see the little joys of life, see that, just because you went through that in the past, it doesn't mean you're going to go through it in the future. And it's like you've rebirthed a certain part of yourself and grown and found your strength through that. And I feel like that's what people talk about. But people also talk about you having this really joyful energy, being so fun to be around. With the pleasure card and with the Four of Wands, I feel a certain energy where you're very likable, and you're very liked by others, and people talk about just having a lot of fun with you, feeling like they can laugh around you, feeling like, it's so fun to be around you. That's the feeling I'm getting here. And with the pleasure card, maybe people talk about you embodying this energy of enjoying every moment, of finding the pleasure in the little moments. Like, I feel like when people go out, I feel this is friendships and strangers too. Like, if you ever go out on like brunch dates or lunches with your friends, like, I feel like you have that energy of bringing fun to the event or to that place. Or if you've ever gone to parties or bars or things like that, even strangers will say, they have so much fun with you. I definitely feel that energy where maybe even some of you are spoken about in a way that you're the life of the party. Or you're just very fun, charismatic, you're very funny too. And you speak with an honesty. I feel a lot of justice energy coming from you, the justice card. So you speak with honesty and truth, and sometimes it's a little bit funny. Like, some people say you're a little bit blunt and it's a little bit funny. But there is this cuteness to you too. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but people find you very cute and lovable. And I feel like a lot of people really like you, really like spending time with you, and that's what they talk about. And like, next time we have an event or next time we have this, I want to invite my pal threes, like that type of energy. That you just have this very vibrant soul, because this pleasure Tanit goddess is the goddess of stars, and I feel like you shine brightly too. Like, whenever you're at a place, people may talk about you being very beautiful or attractive, or you shining brightly and having the showstopper energy because she is on stage. So, you may have a lot of people talk about you taking up space and having all eyes on you, and it's like whenever you walk to a place, it's like, whoa, who's that person over there kind of energy. um and she is a goddess of pleasure, of dancing, of enjoying the moment. I think in Ibiza they have parties where they literally, you know have so much fun in honor of her. She's a goddess. Well, this is a goddess deck, so maybe some of you have goddess energy or a divine energy, God energy. Of course, take it as it resonates. But yeah, I feel that divine element to you. And an energy of like maybe people putting you on a pedestal here with queen energy too. Some of you may have queen energy or king energy, and it's like people may talk about you as if they have put you on a pedestal, like as if you're their favorite celebrity. I know that sounds a little bit excessive, but that's the vibe I'm feeling here. So yeah, you just shine bright, you take up space, and when you walk into the room, of course, when you walk into the room, people see that, but then when you leave the room, it's like they talk about it and they're like, ooh, pile three. Like, you even have the star card. You're that star that shines brightly. And with the creativity card, I feel like some of you are actually creative, or some of you are the types of people that are creative in the things you wear and the way you express yourself. And I really feel that strongly, like either being creative, like actually being creative and doing art, or you're creative in the way you express yourself. And maybe people love your aesthetic. People love maybe the way you do your makeup if you wear makeup, or the way you do your hair, because even I'm looking at this woman here and her outfit looks so on point. And even this woman here, So I feel like maybe sometimes, even here, Queen of Cups, like her dress is so pretty. People may speak about your fashion style. I'm hearing that song. I'm not sure who it's, I think it's Destroy Lonely, that's like, I'm a fashion killer, something like that. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, people just talk about you and really talk about you in a highly respected way, but not just highly respected, like really liking you and really speaking about you with a smile on their face and wanting to see you more. I feel with giving and receiving, there's a lot of times where people want to be your friend or want to be your partner because they can see that you'd be a person with a really big heart. They can see certain traits and qualities you have, like you embodying that honesty, you being an integrity kind of person. I don't know what the word is. For some reason, I can't, like, it's hard to speak and you're reading hard to find the words to use. Maybe people see the energy, but like, it's hard to explain it or hard to really put it into words what they're feeling. Um, and I guess people see your heart and see how beautiful your heart is and how deep you are and how, you feel things really deeply and how of a loyal friend you are. And there's this feeling of you having reciprocal connections around you and people feeling like you'd be the type of friend they'd grow with and you'd be a really good friend to them. So I think that's also what people talk about. I'm also feeling like you're very protected from evil eye since you shine so brightly. We have the Ankh here, which is a symbol of protection, and it looks like a evil eye amulet on her third eye here. So it looks very faint, but I guess maybe that's not what people talk about, but like if people are talking about you in a nasty way because you shine so brightly, you're very protected. So that's something I see. And I guess people also talk about you having a beautiful smile and a beautiful energy of growth and joy. So I feel like using my vibrant tarot deck for you since you have all this vibrant energy. So this is the Queer Tarot. Spirit guides on my pile threes. May I please look into what people say about my pile threes after they leave the room? We have the Nine of Wands. I'm hearing the song That Very Night by Holly Cook. And it's kind of like a sad song as I pulled that Nine of Swords card. So I just want to see what the lyrics are about because I kind of forgot what that song was about, but I hear the melody of it. So the music video is actually like very Halloweenish, like um skeletons and things. So I think that's really funny. I don't know if some of you have been out on Halloween. We have the Tower card as well as the Seven of Swords. So I don't feel like this is your energy. I feel like this is maybe the things you're healing from. So in the song, she speaks about her lover, leaving and finding someone new. And there's two versions of this song. There's one version where she's remembering that night and remembering maybe the last time they kissed and what will she do with all the time she gave him. Of course, this doesn't have to be a romantic connection, take it as it resonates, but there's another version of the song where she speaks about meeting a new man and she's saying, you're perfect boy. I've got the birds and the springtime flowers. So she's speaking about her, maybe bringing a lot that is beautiful that, he would appreciate. And She says, "You'd be a charming boy, not like my previous one, 'cause he disappeared and left me all alone with my broken heart." So then she goes around and says, "I want some special loving, hold me tight, show me you're not a clown, 'cause since I'm a girl, they only make me cry." So I guess with this energy, maybe people speak about you having this certain type of sadness to you, and like they can see you want love, they can see you want that true kind of love experience around you. And I'm not just talking about romantic love, I'm talking about love in general, happy friendships, friendships that are as loyal as you, friendships and connections in your life that feel fulfilling and feel loving. We have the Ace of Cups here. And in this Ace of Cups, we see these tadpole leaves and lotus flowers. So I feel like you have come out of your healing journey and you've rebirthed yourself, and you're open to new love, but maybe now you are a little bit more discerning and a little bit more, I wouldn't say worried, but like a little bit more discerning of who you let into your heart. And there's this feeling of like maybe people seeing that and maybe not really knowing what happened if you didn't tell them, but seeing that you have some pain within your heart, and like maybe wanting to give you a different type of love, because I'm looking at this Ace of Cups and the hand is offering the cup of love with the heart here that is overflowing. So it's kind of like people see this and they're like, I want to give you the most type of love that you've maybe never received from others, or received very little of from people. I'm seeing the House Bunny movie 2222 on my timer. In one scene, she says to the man she meets, like, there's something on her car where there's like this number plate, and she's like, or a sticker like, "I don't like mean people," or something like that. And she's like, I think she said to him in that scene, like, "You're one of the first people that have been so kind to me." So maybe people talk about you having this very big heart, and like they want to offer that love back to you and not hurt you in the same way. We have the Lover, so I feel it could be romantic energies or it could be friendship. Take it as it resonates. We have the Emperor too. So maybe people wanting to give you a more stable type of love and have that protective quality over you is what I feel with the Emperor. A stable kind of love that lasts for a long time, because with all the new cards we picked, there's so much pink here. Pink is the color of the high heart chakra, unconditional love. And with the Lovers, I really feel like a committed type of love, even in friendships. So yeah, we have the Ten of Pentacles, long-term connections that are going to last a long time. So I guess people talk about maybe seeing that you have that pain, but maybe not wanting to treat you the same way and wanting to give you that love. And it's kind of like Spirit is showing me a vision of a puppy dog feeling scared to go to someone and them saying, "It's okay, it's okay," like that type of energy. So I guess people feel compassionate for you. We have the Ace of Swords, so people may also talk about when you leave the room how smart you are, how intelligent you are, and this crown is on the sword. So yeah, I definitely feel that. Like you speak with this intelligence, with this wisdom, with the Queen of Swords, but maybe you also have this dreamy type of vibe to you, like head in the clouds, daydreamy type of vibe, or after you leave, other people are daydreaming about you. And then we have the Four of Wands, and again. So coming back full circle to where we started, people do definitely feel You're a celebration, a pleasure to be around. I think this is where I'm going to leave your reading, my pile threes. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!